Kenny's the guy. They need to stop playing.
Hey, you right, man. And look, we live already, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, we in the Sports Brothers studio. Appreciate everybody who hit that like, subscribe, the notification bell, and make sure you share because sharing is caring. And when you do all those things, you'll be able to catch things that's happening. Just like now, me and Philly Red Zone, we were just chopping it up and we were watching the games, keeping track of the scores and things. And man, a couple of things caught our eye. We was like, yo, let's go ahead and talk about it. So we are here and we getting straight to business. So you were just talking about one of my the Seahawks, right? You was talking about my
Yeah.
running back.
Yep.
Seattle with a good win today
Yes.
against the Carolina Panthers. Um, normally sometimes Seattle will lose these type of games. We actually lost to Carolina at home a
Yep.
couple of years ago when we had no business doing that. But
Yeah, it
this
was like
year,
2 years ago.
yeah, 2 years ago in Seattle and everything. And by the way, the Seahawks wore white at home, and that's the first time that the Seahawks have ever wore white as their jersey at home. First time ever. This team's
Oh
been
wow.
around. Yeah, this team been around since 1976, and it's one of the younger teams, in the league. Like came in around the same time as Tampa Bay. But yeah, man, never wore white at home, so that was unique. But you was talking about Walker the third and how strong he looked.
Yeah.
But we got another back too that looks good. You want to say something about that?
Yeah, I mean, Kenny Walker. Kenny Walker is the guy. I mean, I understand what Pete Carroll and the offensive staff is trying to do. They draft Charbonnet, and let's throw him in on passing downs, and then you're trying to run hurry up, and the kid is on the field. I mean, I've seen blocking mistakes. He's standing around not knowing what to do. You know, but Kenny Walker needs to be on the field 80% of the time. I mean, when it's garbage time or, Kenny tap his helmet and say, I need a breather, then you throw Charbonnet in there. But all this 50-50 and it's just a waste of time. Because, I mean, you've seen it. When Charbonnet was in the game, in the red zone, he couldn't even score.
Right.
You put Kenny in the game, touchdown. Put Kenny in the game against, Kenny's Walker is the guy, hands down. Pete Carroll, if you watch Sports Brothas show, leave Kenny in the game.
Stop
Like you
playing.
leave Lockett in the game and DK. I know J.S. Ennis was a stud at Ohio State, but he's not ready yet. He don't know how to formally get open, and when he's open, the pocket's already collapsing on the quarterback. So that's all. That's my soapbox. Plus,
Yeah.
I got Kenneth Walker in fantasy, so I am happy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I remember we talked about Kenny Walker. Yeah, and
Oh, buddy.
he's
Yes,
legit.
sir.
But
Dude, I was
I'll
nervous
say
early.
But I'll say that Charbonnet he's a boulder, man. He's a tough runner, and he can
Yeah.
play his role in certain goal line situations. But I agree with you, man. Walker the third, man, that's our guy, man. That's he if things pan out the way I think it will, he'll be in along the Seattle
With
wall of fame
Alexander, oh yeah.
when it comes to
Chris
those running
Lawrence,
backs.
Alexandra,
Yeah, Kurt,
what's the
Kurt
uh,
Warner.
Kurt Warner? Yeah, man, dude, y'all, man, a
Yeah,
litany of great backs that came out of Seattle, man.
even
And
Lynch, even
yeah,
Marshawn Lynch.
yeah, I forgot about Beast Mode, man.
Yeah,
And the thing up there is y'all committed to the run. Y'all one of
right,
the few organizations that commit to the run to set up your pass. You know,
absolutely.
other organizations they use the pass to set up the run. So I mean, and then it saves your line because I mean the line is still not it's still the weak point of the offense.
Right.
But when you're running, 4 or 5 yards a clip, I mean, Gino can do play action now because the linebackers got to cheat up, and that opens up the middle of the field. I mean,
Totally
it's
agree.
textbook, But
Yeah, man. So that's
yeah, I was excited today, man. It was a great game. Carolina showed up well. I hated to see the kid get hurt, man. It's too early for him to be standing with a sweat jacket on. He needs to be on the field getting experience. But Andy Dalton do what Andy Dalton do. The red rifle, he'll keep you in the game and then lose it in the end.
There, and you're absolutely right. That's what he does. And he's a serviceable backup now. When as it comes to his role in the league. And
Yep.
he did a solid job today, but
Yeah, he
they
did.
they didn't they did what they were supposed to do. I think Seattle actually had too many field goals, if you will.
Yeah.
And
Early.
and it was good that eventually they got the touchdowns in, because if not, man, anything could have happened. But that's
Yeah.
enough. That's enough of Seattle, man. Let's go ahead and talk about something that we need to talk about here.
Hey
And
man,
that's, man,
you started off. I'm following your lead.
I understand, man, but man, let's get to, man, the upset of the day, if you will.
Oh,
And
okay. It's
and
not
that
Oregon, Colorado. So
no, we're gonna talk about that later on. But right now we gotta talk about something that directly affects your team. And and
oh, okay.
and that's
A
Dallas
little birdie
Cowboys,
told you
man.
something. A little red birdie told you something.
Come on, man. Come on, man. The Redbirds, man, team tank.
Ooh.
Team tank.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
they beat the Cowboys. Come on, man. What's
yeah.
going on with this?
The vaunted defense, number one,
Hey,
holding teams to 3 points or less. I mean, hey man,
come on, man. How the Cowboys lose this one?
arrogance, not prepared, can't stop the run. That's their weakness. They cannot stop the run. They are exposed. They are exposed. They are exposed. They are exposed. Everybody else in the league, two tight end. You're going to run the what you call that two tight end set? 11 personnel.
Okay.
11 personnel. Block it up. Run left. Run right. Wherever Michael Parsons is, you run at him. He cannot stop the run.
Yeah.
You run away from him, he can run it. He's fast enough to run the play down from the back. The Eagles showed that last year. You run your read option, you get him in limbo. You either gonna go for the running back or the quarterback. He can't do both, And I mean, Arizona showed up. That defense showed up,
Man.
and when they just was playing, man. I watched that whole game.
Yeah.
And I was blown away. I really thought Jonathan Gannon and that team was going to tank in the second half. I got nervous. I had ran to the store to get some stuff, man, and I'm looking at the phone. I'm like, oh, they scored again. They're like, hold on, let me hurry up and get home.
Yeah.
Because I was game casket. And but yeah, man, they Dallas is exposed, man. Now I know we're gonna hear on Monday morning.
Uh-oh.
All the pundits is going to talk about, Diggs. I first I want to say I wish him a speedy recovery, man. I don't never want to see anybody, go down with a season-ending injury. But that's not the reason why the Cowboys lost today, And they are exposed. They're going to play Belichick next week. And what you think Belichick going to do? Hey, Elliot, get ready, buddy. Go lift some weights. You're getting the ball like 30 times. Ramondre, get ready. They're going to get a heavy dose of the run.
Yeah.
Heavy dose.
Yeah.
And Dak Prescott, do what Dak Prescott do. When the game is on the line, he throws a pick. Oh, my gosh. Man. The look on McCarthy's face, he wanted to choke the life out of him.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, did you not see the linebacker underneath? No, coach. I seen my jersey, and he was open. No, he wasn't. They ran bracket coverage. They was running it pretty much all night, sneaking at a linebacker, underneath, trying to take those intermediate routes away.
But I was surprised at the defense. I thought the defense would be a lot better. Because Dallas has been pretty, they've been pretty tough on defense this season. I know it's early, but I mean,
Giants, Jets.
Yeah, but and Cardinals, you know what I mean? Like, shouldn't that have been an extension to that list?
Hey man, James Conner is a different human, man.
Yeah.
That man battled some things in his life that he don't have it fair. Like that dude show up and he knocks the hell out of linebackers and linemen and make them not want to tackle him. You seen it early. They was tattooing him and he was throwing it back and
Right.
those calls. and and then as he started progressing, running, you know what I mean, on those edges and hitting them corners, getting them linebackers, those dudes started slowing up when they was getting to him when he was pounding that ball, you know, and they
Yeah.
started tippy toeing it. He started gashing them. And then the kid, number 30, I forgot his name, he started gashing them, you know, and it was
Yeah.
downhill, man. And then Dobbs, he played with poise. I
Yeah.
mean, he was decisive in his decision making.
Yep.
You know, when he needed to run, he ran. When he needed to clock the ball and just say, you know what, we'll live the punt or we'll live to kick a field goal, he did that. And
Yeah.
that's, I mean, that's the blueprint, man. That's the blueprint.
And,
So
and and they did not beat themselves. They didn't find a way to beat themselves. Kind of like how they did against the Giants when they had a big lead on them.
yeah,
Found a way that they helped them. They helped the Giants get back in it. They didn't necessarily help Dallas at all, and Dallas didn't really help themselves at all either, in my opinion. One thing I'm really noticing is that I don't really see Dak make deep throws.
no,
It's more of a doink and dink type of game that he has, and you know they're not. It's not. In other words, not really stretching the field. And I don't think teams are going to be overly concerned about him stretching the field when it comes to that. So that's something to really look at long term with Dallas. It's one loss,
yeah,
17-week season,
oh
but
yeah,
when you have championship aspirations and you have not won the championship,
yeah,
uh, it's one thing for the Chiefs to lose a game like to the Lions. We
yeah,
can say, hey, they can come back because they already went to the mountaintop. But this last 20 years plus of the Dallas Cowboys, they have not been at the mountaintop. So they got to get these kind of wins. They got to make statements because your Eagles, by the way, you can preview that right quick. That's the team they're chasing. You got to win. You got to be in your division first before you want to go further. And so, what about your Eagles tomorrow against the Bucks? What you thinking?
I mean, it's gonna be a defensive game early. I think both defenses gonna, you know, play fast and you know their objective is gonna be to stop each other's running game. I think the Eagles will have more success stopping the Bucks running game than the Bucks stopping the Eagles, just because of, you know, the Eagles blocking schemes. And every time we hear that the Eagles go up against a number one Russian defense, they end up putting 240 yards on the ground on them. I don't
Oh,
know why. It was like that last year against Green Bay, you know, where, oh yeah, they're the number one, you know, Russian defense, and yeah, they gave up over 300 yards on the ground. You know,
right.
I think AJ Brown is gonna have a big night. Him and Goddard. This is AJ Brown and Goddard game tomorrow night. Um, Swift and Gainwell, they'll, you know, kind of man the backfields. You know, I just see Jalen Hurts, you know, getting his passing game, um, you know, in order. You know, like you said, we're gonna win either way, whether we got to run it, kick field goals, or throw for 400 yards. A win is a win. And
Yep.
like you were saying with the other team in our division, you got to stack the wins. It's not about being pretty. It's about stacking wins. You know, getting home field advantage, getting the number
Yes.
one seed, and then, you know, now you can worry about style points. And even then, if you winning a game 3-0, but you win, hey, you move on. You know, there's no style points. So I like the defense against Baker though. I mean, Baker, he's playing lights out, but the defenses that he went up against was Minnesota and the Bears, two of the worst defenses in the league that don't have a lot of don't provide a lot of defensive pressure up the middle. That gets to Baker. If
Yeah.
you get pressure in his face, he's running like a chicken without a head, and he's just throwing that ball. Or he's going to try to outrun everybody and then, you know, fumble the ball, make mistakes, start throwing picks.
Right.
And the Eagles have like the best defensive tackles, you know what I mean, tandems in the league. You know, outside of Aaron Donald, he's one man. they're throwing 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys at you. You know, and they have ends that can cheat inside. That's faster than most guards and centers. You know, that can get on the quarterback as soon as that ball snaps.
Yeah.
You know, so it's going to be. I see a nice, refreshing, comfortable win in Tampa tomorrow night. You know, I'm not really going to do no score, but I think it's just going to be a comfortable night. It won't be, you know, kind of like the other game, the Minnesota game, which was comfortable. But then the defense kind of played umbrella, and then, you know, Kurt do what Kurt do. You
Yep.
know, but that Patriots game, yeah, I was pasted because I'm like, oh, here we in Belichickville, you know. But tomorrow's gonna be good, man.
Yeah.
I see a win for the Eagles, going 3-0 and taking
Okay.
commanding of the division like they're supposed to.
And there it is. Okay. NFC South. I think, let's see, the Falcons lost.
Yeah,
The Panthers
Saints.
lost. The Saints
Yep.
lost. Who else? Oh, and then you just previewed that. So
Yeah.
you're based on your preview, Bucks. So the NFC South might be coming down to earth a little bit
Yeah.
this week. Let's look over. Oh man, speaking of
The South. Hey, we gotta talk about it, man. Hold on, Derek Carr, shoulder injury. That's a big injury.
Shoulder injury.
Yeah.
We don't know how many weeks he'll be out, but he's going to be out. So that's going to be a major blow there.
Yep.
And like I say, we just talked about Carolina and their young quarterback already missing time. So things are already, you know, starting to take shape here in the NFL. And speaking of getting beat down, man, Russell Wilson, Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
70 points hung on them today. 70.
Was that an NFL game or a Pac-12 game?
It was both. It was Pac-12. It was, you remember the old WAC, the old BYU against San Diego State
the
game.
Mountain Conference games, yeah.
It was all that rolled into one.
Dude, it's no coming back from Russell Wilson, man. I really believe we're going to see Stidham. There's already chirps that the coach, what's his name?
Sean Payton.
Payton.
Yeah.
He already up to his wits end with Mr. Les Ride.
Yeah.
You know, he's gonna be a $240 million doorstop sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
You know, I know the folks that own Walmart won't like that, but hey, man, you hired the man. He trying to get this team morale up because those guys, that defense quit, man. I'm sorry. You're not hanging 70 on me. I'm getting thrown out the game. I'm gonna slam somebody. I'm gonna do something. I'm not sitting here witnessing this beatdown and had to keep on going out in that Florida heat. You know,
it's deeper, and it's deeper. That's 70 points. A lot of people, you know, I see people out there saying stuff, and they're thinking, "Oh man, the defense just didn't do their part." They didn't totally do their part, but you know, when you don't believe in your number one guy, when you don't believe in your leader, that team, that's a statement saying that this team is tired of something, and there's going to have to be a shift, and it's just kind of a done deal. It's right there in front of all of us to see, and you know, you gotta make a move here, and I think, like you said, I think it's going to be a quarterback change. At least in another week or two at the latest, there's going to be a change.
I think if I'm Peyton on the plane ride, hey, Stidham, get the playbook. I need you in my office first thing in the morning. Matter of fact, you ain't leaving the damn stadium. Go to my office. We going over this playbook.
Yeah.
He needs to make a statement and wake those guys up, because if he don't, he's gonna have a jet situation. I don't know if you saw the clips on that.
Yeah, saw it.
You know, where Zach Wilson, one of them boys, they about to tee off on somebody about to get beat the hell down.
Yeah.
Because they did all that HBO stuff, and it don't look pretty now that the GOAT's gone.
Yeah.
You know? So
exactly.
If Sean Payton wanna not have the number one pick in the draft, he gotta shake it up.
Yeah.
You know,
he got. And it's not that you put in a better quarterback, per se, but it's the better option for the team and the morale and that kind of thing. Those
guys don't believe in Russell. They know what Russell is.
Yeah,
Russell is in the locker room now with those guys because Peyton took his office away.
Yes, exactly.
You see what I'm saying? He
Yep.
set a precedent that I'm here and y'all here.
Yes,
Those
exactly.
guys do not rock with him.
Yes.
It showed with Seattle.
Yep.
When he was there. The Legion of Boom, they didn't rock with him. After he won that Super Bowl, they saw the shift in his brain. He changed.
Yep.
And he's more than the team, and you can't be that way.
Yep.
You know, those guys don't respect him. You know, because you think that Samoan dude last year, he ain't jump on his butt. If he's on the team, he gonna jump on him again.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, Russell, you're winning in life. You got paid. You went from an unknown to a Super Bowl quarterback. You got the Super Bowl wife. You got a lot of things going for yourself. But at this point, man, you know, the ship is sailed, bro. It's a wrap. You know, it's a wrap now. Everything's in the past now. Denver's gonna have to really figure that out. So let's see what else we got left before we shift over to the college scene.
All right.
We need to look at. I'm just scanning through right now. Okay.
Yeah.
We need to look at this. Man, the Chargers and the Vikings, right?
Yes.
Both teams are 0-2. Both teams should really kind of be at least 1-1 in the Vikings case. They played the Eagles one game. But definitely should be around that 2-1 spot. They're 0-3. The Chargers won the game, but it feel like they lost the game to me, man.
Man, it should have been a tie, man. Both of those teams. Yeah. Oh my gosh, man.
Right. Did you see the decision that the Chargers coach made?
Yeah.
Going for it when you should punt the ball away and let you like.
But the Chargers don't have a running back. They can't run the ball. Josh Kelly is the worst. He should be cut today. They need to go and call Leonard Fournette. The guy sitting home with his wife and kids waiting for somebody to get him a job. Get a man a job. He will get you 4th and 1, 4th and 2. Because that's what he does.
Right,
you know?
right.
And Eckler is playing, you know, Eckler's not trying to play. You know, he's saying, oh, yeah, I got a high ankle sprain, but they got video of him walking normal. Like, you know, come on. He won his money. Y'all not going to pay him, and he don't want to play. And then Herbert, the garbage air yards that this guy continues to get every week, you know, and he got away with it today because he played another guy that always get just nothing air yards. And then you look up, you lose it in the box score, you know. So both defenses was horrible. Yeah, I mean they can stop a wet paper bag, man. And I think both of those teams, the Vikings, they might as well start having a fire sale. You know, it's time. You know, and then the Chargers, man, oof. That's all I can say. They both gonna be I think last places in their respective divisions.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, this is the last thing we're going to talk about tonight, which is Coach Prime. I think everybody talks about Coach Prime in some shape, form, or fashion. The primetime beatdown. University of Oregon really took the Colorado Buffaloes to the woodshed here. It was not even close. Now, many of us, like, you know, Vegas line, 21-point underdogs. And a lot of people was like, 21, that's a lot. That's a lot of points. But man, Vegas was right on this one. I mean, it was more than 21-point game at halftime. And you know, they had all the answers to the, you know, to in this one for Oregon. Colorado now has USC next week. But just what's your initial thoughts of that game? And I know you want to talk about Coach Prime and some other stuff off the field too. But this is not the game out first, and get your thoughts.
Oh yeah. No, I watched the game. I mean, when by the time I got to it was 13-0. I'm like, holy crap, what happened? You know, but I'm not even gonna lie. Before the season, once the schedule came out, I said to my guys, man, I'm like, look, if Colorado get past Oregon and USC, they go undefeated. I already knew that. Oregon, I mean, that's a sound program. I
Yeah.
mean, they basically find the fastest and most athletic individuals in the country. I'll say in the world. I don't know, and and that's just kind of the Nike way, Um, I mean, it was Bo Nix. I mean, the kid that he used to play with Auburn, and
Right.
I think he's doing the 5th year senior deal. I mean, the kid played a great game. Their line basically manhandled that Colorado line.
Yep.
Those guys, they looked like they was getting thrown out the club
Yeah.
every snap.
Yeah.
It was just bad. And those running backs from for Oregon, I mean, they small and they slippery, and they did their job. They got in space. They made these guys, miss, initial tackles, and just got basically just was racking up yards. And then Bo Nix was hitting. I think that kid number 14, Franklin. I mean, that 6'4" kid. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. I mean, not having Hunter there, it hurt the Colorado because at least with Travis, you can leave him 1-on-1, and that side is locked down, and then you can run, kind of a shell on the other side to kind of protect the other corners because Colorado defense that the defense that Colorado is going to have next year is not there.
Right.
They got to get through the portal. They got to get all their recruits, so they're not ready to win the caliber game against a USC and an Oregon right now. Sorry, man, I'm in
No,
my
you
car.
great.
Yeah. But it in any loss, especially a loss like that, for the coaches and the players, it's a learning experience. I can sense that a lot of those guys they got away with that game against Colorado State,
Yep.
and they just thought they could just show up and the Dion magic just gonna rub off on them,
Yep.
and that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Um,
Reality kicked in.
yeah. Even for Shador, they were showing certain coverages that forced him to hold the ball a tick longer than he should have to allow that Oregon defensive line to get home. And I mean, when he made decisive throws, the throws was there. The guys was dropping the ball. Then it's like, damn, I'm hitting you in the hands and you dropping the ball. But then, then he trying to, spread the ball around. And, that offensive line, that's another thing, man. Dion got to get his lines, up to par. And once that happened, I mean, they'll be fine. But overall, Oregon played a heck of a game. I didn't think that Colorado would have got blown out that bad, but I had Oregon basically winning
Yeah.
that game just because their program is far more established than what Colorado is right now.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. I mean, Dion's still a great coach. They still have great coaching on that sideline. But the young men on that team have to understand that they have to when you facing adversity and you playing a team that's less a tick or two ahead of you, you gotta scratch and claw to win. You gotta make, plays that's far beyond yourself. You gotta stay on your keys. What the coaches told you to do. I know what you see. I know they're going to show you eye candy. Don't fall for the eye candy. If you're supposed to stay in your gap, stay in your gap. If they're trying to double team you and move you, you got to fight through that because as soon as you get out your gap, the backside is open and that 4.3 speed is flying through there at the speed of light.
Yeah.
And nobody can catch it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure Dion and his staff is telling his guys that because they're going up against Mr. Williams next week, and he's going to try to hang 625 yards on them with 8 touchdowns.
Yeah.
He's feasting. So, but I'm still proud of that program. I mean, to go from 1-11 last year, now they 3-1.
Yeah. Well, they won the first. Yeah, they won the first 3 and lost 1. Yeah, 3-1.
Hey, you're 3-1. Nothing to hang your head about. It's kind of like a prize fighter. You get your cream puffs. you know, and then you get to that title belt and
Yeah,
you get your jaw rocked.
yeah,
You realize I ain't that good. Let me
yeah.
get some of that humble pie, man.
I'm in the
And
mid
that's
card. Yeah, I'm in
yeah,
the mid
exactly.
card.
Man. I'm in the mid card. I ain't ready for the big leagues yet. I called out the wrong person.
Yeah.
You know.
So that, but that's the dynamic that is always going to be with the University of Colorado or
Yeah.
whichever team that Coach Prime is going to be coaching. Uh, you're going to have this because, we have to go ahead and say it. When the win was there against TCU on the road at TCU, the first thing Coach Prime did was go after the reporters and everything,
Yep.
tell them, demanding that you say that you believe and things like that. And
Yeah.
that is going to resonate with other teams, other coaches, other players that are not affiliated with the team. So it's gonna, there's gonna be a little bit more extra sauce in there if there's a victory. And that's the kind of, but that's fine. That I mean, he wants to put that not purposely, but when you're in that kind of spotlight and you have that kind of target, you got to
Yeah.
take the hits. You got to take the good with the hits as well. And so now reality's kicked in. I think one of the major differences was the O line and D line of Oregon.
Yeah.
That was telling. Travis Hunter not being there, that definitely. I mean, the score would have been just a little bit closer if he was there,
Yeah. They
but
may have got 14.
right, right, but it was still would have been a
Yeah,
problem
it's been
because
lopsided. Yeah.
at the end of the day, Colorado was giving up points against everybody they played. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
except maybe Nebraska, but Nebraska really hasn't really done much anyway. But
Hold up. If that quarterback from Nebraska didn't have those 4 fumbles,
well, that's true too. Yeah.
they able to put up at least 35.
Well, there you go. So that means
Yeah.
pretty much every game. So pretty
Yeah.
much every game, the opponents have been scoring, and
Yeah.
so I don't see that changing next week against USC. I think it's going to be a comfortable win for USC. I think Colorado will play much better on
Yeah.
offense at home, but I think at the end of the day, USC, like you said, kind of like Oregon, kind of already ahead of the race. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so Coach probably needs a couple more seasons before he can kind of get in, above the mid card, if you will, in
Yeah.
reality. Yep.
Yeah.
There was something else you wanted to say about Coach Prime and maybe one of the relationships with one of the players, and then we can close things out.
Oh no, man! It was that the kid. I want to say his number. He won. He scored the tying touchdown in that Colorado State game.
Okay.
Um, one of the receivers, man, his dad is incarcerated,
Yeah.
and my thing was I just respect Coach Prime and being the coach and the man that he is,
Yeah.
how he's running his program. And I understand he had to do believe, and he had a lot of naysayers, and his way of running Colorado, and he had to get certain players out and bring certain players in. I mean, it's the nature of the business,
Yeah.
But the way he's pouring into that team and getting them to believe that that they are viable competition.
Yeah.
Some of those guys, next year they may not be on the team. Some of those guys gonna graduate. They're gonna realize, this football thing ain't for me. Let me
Yeah.
pay attention to class and go and become, plumber, lawyer, whatever.
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna play on Sundays, unfortunately.
Right.
But to have that, Coach Prom, teaching these young men, more than just football, about life, and getting, the maximum out of the talent that he has. I mean, all I could do is just respect it. I mean, I hear a lot of people talk about him, and I'm like, he's a coach. You got to understand where he's coming from. He's doing nothing different than the Nick Sabans, the Lane Kiffins, of the worlds, the Jimbo Fishers. They came into these programs. They got rid of the bad apples. They got rid of the folks that weren't as talented, and they brought new crop in, and they played. Now they're able to play ball. They can go and compete. So I like what the Colorado story. I like what Coach Prime is doing. And I just hope that, through all this, he kind of stay at Colorado for a while, man, and just build that team into a juggernaut and not jump to the NFL for what people are saying, because that's a whole different ball game, man. I think that will kind of tainting his growing legacy as a coach. I think he should stay at the collegiate level, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, he said this, and this is even before he started coaching at Jackson State. On some interviews, he's always been adamant that he's just not an NFL guy, and his place is coaching the younger, players, because once they start getting paid, start making more than he make, what can you tell them across the board? And so I think I agree with the fact that he should be coaching at the collegiate level. I'm gonna caution you now, because what you just said about hoping he stay at Colorado, that's what I thought he would do at Jackson State. And knowing Coach Prime, I would be surprised if, let's say a Nick Saban start fizzing out in Alabama. Maybe maybe Prime makes a move, to a place like that or something. But as long as he's coaching at the collegiate level, now that I have a better understanding of what Coach Prime is doing, I think he's a great college, great for college football.
Yeah, I don't think he would. I don't think he would have to go to, say, Alabama, Florida State. Florida State had the opportunity to hire him, and they went with the other guy. And I know he already said he don't represent Florida State after they did that, because that was the ideal spot. One of your own coming back. This man got a gold jacket. All he was Florida and Florida State to come and coach. My gosh. And with the talent that Florida State already had on that team, and he was bringing his Louis luggage with him.
In the state of Florida.
In the state of Florida, in the ACC, and all you got to worry about is Clemson. They dropped the ball on that. I mean, they are ranked 3 or 4 right now.
Yeah.
So they didn't drop the ball too much.
They dropped the ball. TCU dropped the ball because TCU was actually a program that he wanted to.
Yeah, because it's being out of Texas.
Yeah, he wanted to be there. Mm-hmm. They turned him down, and it wasn't until Jackson State hired him. Now, when people was able to say, "Oh, wait a minute, if he can get anybody to go play, at HBCU, anybody." I mean, you're talking number 1 rated athlete / football player in the nation went to Jackson State in this day and age. Oh boy, we better grab him now before things turn around a whole nother direction. And so I think that's he's prime. You know what I'm saying? And he's gonna be good. So we'll look forward to see how things go. The rest of the season.
I think he's gonna stay at Colorado. They'll have all the resources. He'll have the portal. It's kids already right now clamoring to get there.
Yeah.
He got to turn people away and say, "Why you want to come up here?" He got to vet, So it's gonna be a good thing, man. I'm not a Colorado alum. I have no allegiance to the school. I really don't care. I just like seeing good football, but I also like good stories, man. And I believe that's gonna. I think in two more seasons, that national title game, I'll say the playoff, Colorado is going to be one of those spots. Ooh. If Coach Prime stay.
Yeah, we'll definitely see, man. Hey, man, appreciate you being in the studio, man.
No problem, man. Thank you for having me, man. It was fun, and hey, we'll do it again.
All right, let's see what your Eagles do tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
We'll go from there.
All right.
Sir.
You have a good one.
He's Philly Red Zone. I'm 4-1. We out of here. Have a good one.
Peace.